Welcome, everybody, and this is Let's Not Play Resident Evil. I'm your host, T, and this is my new co-host, Kim. Say hi, Kim.
Hello?
Tell us about yourself.
No. Well, I'm not allowed to use your real name. I'm not telling no one about myself.
Why does everyone have a problem with this? Okay, then. So, today we're not gonna play Resident Evil games. We're just gonna discuss them. Like always, if you don't know the format of the show, then you're wasting your time and you should change the video to something else. Anything else. Regardless, where are we going to start today, Kim?
We could start with how they get bitten and they're never infected.
Okay, let's start with the story. Alright. So, Kim, you're the Resident Evil expert. Tell us the story of the series.
Zombies. No, seriously? Umbrella, big evil corporation, developing bioweapons for we don't know who. They never seem to sell those. They just seem to get loose and destroy the city.
They happen to be around.
Exactly. Either way, zombies get loose, destroy the city. The first game you play is two survivors. You try and get out of the... No, you get betrayed. First game, you get betrayed by your captain and all that jazz. You're basically used as guinea pigs, test subjects, rats in a maze. They get out. I'm rambling, aren't I?
No, you're doing fine, dude. This is what podcasts do.
No. They get out. You're in the mansion. Why are you in the mansion? I don't. There's so many places where you should have just been like, done. I'm going home.
I guess you could say the whole theme of the series was...
survival horror.
Okay, yeah, survival horror. You're virtually looking at, here's a situation, be it a train, a mansion, a subway tunnel, a zoo. Fuck, that's zoo. Oh, pardon me, I cursed. Or, I don't know, a big open city. Too many times a big open city.
It's always a big open city.
But you just have to usually escape the zombie apocalypse. And they'll throw a curveball or two around your way. We lost a friend. Little girl's in trouble. I'm infected. Save the president's daughter.
I hate the president's daughter so much.
Oh boy. Oh, that's a whole segment on its own. So, how are the characters in the story? What do you expect on an everyday Resident Evil run? I mean, usually they consist of usually a protagonist and a heroine of some kind, and their attempts to escape. But, go ahead, yeah.
You always usually run into another character. There's always two characters in the games, at least. First game, you've got Jill and Chris you can play as. Second game, you've got Claire and Leon. Third game, you've got Jill...
and Spanish guy, we don't know his name.
Yeah, Spanish guy that never made it into another game. Fourth game, you've got the president's daughter and Leon.
Choke a bitch.
Exactly. Oh, I hate her so much.
And, of course, fifth, Chris and Sheva. Or Josh and Jill. It doesn't matter. These games usually format something like, go in, you need items to do specific things, and you kind of work your way around the mansion with the items they give you.
Cranks will be your best friend.
And they seem to be everywhere, don't they?
They have a thing for cranks.
Fetish of some kind. Okay, so what do you think of the gameplay?
Depends on which game you're talking about. It has changed over the years. The first games, you've got your static cameras, you've got your horrible, horrible aiming, but...
it doesn't seem to fail me all that often.
Yeah, it does work, except for when there's a zombie just around the corner, and if you walk a step forward, your camera flips around and you can't shoot him. The first games are pretty hard for that, but other than that, a lot of fun. The later games, when you have sort of third person over the shoulder, is a lot of fun. You get the laser... which is, once you get the hang of it, is a easy aiming tool, but it takes a lot of work.
It also kind of, I find it pulls the horror feel out of the game.
Definitely.
I mean, it's a little more scary when you can't see around a corner, or you know that if something runs towards you, it's going to be a lot trickier than to just quickly press a button and kill it.
On the other hand, it's less frustrating.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
There's nothing worse than that hunter that sits around the corner and gets the free shot and decapitates you every freaking time.
Or the poison that just doesn't seem to affect me whatsoever, but haunts you like a bad plague.
Yes. You're immune to poison.
Rub
it in, why don't you?
You're damn right I am, and you never forget it. So
fine, I'll just set a pack of dogs loose on you. Have fun with your knife.
Yeah, okay, that was a scary story. All right, so of course the gameplay changes as they go through. There were a few others, like they had a few first-person shooter ones on the PS2. There was Gun Survivor, and as well as there was Gun Survivor, there was a sequel to that. I don't recall. It's still called Gun Survivor, but it has a name. It's like Gaiden or something crazy like that.
No, Gaiden was the GBA game.
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't even canon, and Leon's the zombie or something. We don't know.
Does that one a first-person shooter anyway?
No, I think it's sort of... I haven't played it or seen gameplay of it, but I think I've seen screenshots, and if I recall, it might be like top-down.
I would love some gameplay if anyone wants to upload that in like my comments. I would love to see how the game actually plays. I'm kind of a connoisseur for weird games, and I love them. Love them.
Weird and terrible, or just weird?
I don't know. I mix it up. Okay, so there was those, and then there was also like they have the light gun ones on the Wii now, which we just finished
rail
playing.
Shooters.
Both good. Both no problems at all.
Outbreak Files, the co-op survival ones with the zoo that you mentioned earlier.
See, that one's, I love the idea of a co-op survival in the old school Resident Evil stuff, but I think you needed a chat feature, and I really wish it was the kind of thing you could pick up split screen and play with your friends. Both of you needed a copy, and you needed a working, like the servers I don't think work anymore.
The servers are gone. They are long gone.
There's not much you can do except play by yourself with computers that you can't seem to tell what to do.
And the computers will give Sheva from Resident Evil 5 or the other AI, if you happen to be playing as Sheva, a run for their money. Ashley, yes. They are pretty... I'm dying. Here, let me go into your menu, select your herb, and tell you to heal yourself. Oh, wait, I died in the course of telling you to heal yourself. Good job. Way to be a team.
You can't seem to work through the gameplay. If you can work through it and you don't get stressed out by item management, you should be... I think they're worth playing. As for... I'm losing my voice. I'm sorry. Any topics you'd like to touch on? Weapons? Inventory management? Okay, how about inventory? How does the inventory system work, Kim?
Inventory changes likewise through the games. For the most part, you had a set amount of slots and the occasional gun that took more than that. That is my biggest problem with one I'm going to point out. Jill has 2 extra slots than Chris. So when you're trying to play through as Chris, not only does he have extra stuff to carry around, like another key because he doesn't lockpick, but he has less inventory to do it with. It can be quite hard, but with correct management, it's not that big of a deal. If you don't know what you need next, it's a bit of a problem.
First playthrough, definitely recommended you play through as Jill.
Yeah, definitely play through as Jill. Chris is insanely hard mode.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But that's kind of the general feel through the rest of them, right? Like, 2 does it, 3 does it, 4 even has a touch on it.
4 is one of my favorites. 4 is you get the briefcase that each thing's got its set amount dimensions. It's like playing Tetris, and you'll notice the theme. Almost everyone is obsessed with organizing their case.
You're gonna do it too.
We all do.
If you've played
Nothing
it, you know.
Nothing to be ashamed of.
5 does the same, but it's a kind of a weirder system.
They nerfed it and ruined it. In the first games, when a herb's on the ground and you're dying, you can go, do you want to pick up the herb, or do you want to use the herb? 5, they took that out. Not only did they take that out, but in the earlier games, your inventory system paused the game, so you could go and do what you wanted, press start, you're back in the game. 5, it's more, what's the word for that? They had a word for it. They were quite proud of their inventory.
They were like streamlined inventory where you needed to actually select it after picking up and then selecting another menu.
Their big thing was, it doesn't pause gameplay. It's going to make it feel so much faster. And it really just screwed you over. Because if you're dying and you have a red and a green herb, you have to, while the game's still playing, go into your inventory, hit triangle, combine herb, then use it, and by then...
You're probably dead.
If it's a chainsaw guy, you're probably got your head cut off by now.
It's definitely a bit of a weirder system. Like with 5, it almost seems like a ripoff of the Dead Space idea of no stopping, and like the game is fluid, and you're vulnerable every...
on-screen displays or anything.
If I hit the start button, it's the only way of pausing the game, but it doesn't let you go through your inventory to equip that shotgun or reload it or anything like that. It's all pretty balls to the wall stuff.
They did keep the reloading of your weapons in the inventory, though. That is kind of nice.
Ah, yes, yes. But this inventory slot thing, it's a big part of any horror survival game, but it seems that with 5, there was no need for it.
There was no survival horror. It was action.
You always have ammo. You always have your choice of weapons. There's never a situation where you feel intimidated. Maybe one, if I can think. I can't even think of one, actually.
Oh, the most intimidating things are those QuickTime events.
And that's it. And those aren't even intimidating anymore because they're so generic. You can pick up a game and it has a QuickTime event in it now.
I've also noticed with the QuickTime events, press every button. It works.
You can't fail if you don't screw up. Yes, they seem to be quite easy now. But especially with Resident Evil 5, there was no point to...
They went a little too far with the stressing on how co-op it was, which you can make co-op survival horror work, but... Oh no, you do always lose a little bit of the horror knowing that there's someone else there to save you.
Not to promote Dead Space or anything, but the reason Dead Space is so terrifying, I don't like to use the word terrifying because I find it twitchy, but not terrifying. When you're walking through the things, you have a very isolated feel. You can't tell your buddy, go down the hall, and if something jumps out at you, I'll kill it from over here. You have to walk down that hall by yourself and let that thing get you. Whereas in 5... hey, just throw a flashbang grenade. We'll both wait and let him come out to get us. It's not even a matter of we only have 2 flashbang grenades. You have 8. You just don't want to use one.
But even look at Lost in the Nightmares, the DLC that was basically Capcom's love letter to us that they haven't forgotten where Resident Evil came from. They took 5 and they went back to survival horror, scary, limited ammo. You're totally lost. You don't know what you're doing or what you're going to need. They split you up a lot, and that is a terrifying feeling.
Oh, absolutely, when you know that there's something that's twice your size and howls at you and sticks you on an anchor when your friend watches you die. Cough, cough. And
one time.
Twice. That's why, you just let him play the piano, man. Regardless, I'm going off track. It's pretty nerve-wracking to know that even if you're in trouble, your friends know where to help you, and you will die. And if it turns a corner, there's not even a good chance you'll kill it because you don't have the ammo to do it in.
Yeah.
It's the perfect way the game should have been in the first place.
But there's also a lot of helplessness. You have that partner there, but you're so far apart, they could help you, but they can't. They're too far. They're not going to be able to do anything there. There's the option to. They flaunt it in your face. You can call for help as much as you want, but no one's there to hear it.
Oh, yes, yes. It's really too bad, though, they didn't include the zombies actually in there. I don't know if we're forgetting any Resident Evil games before this part comes to a close. We probably have one more time for... Was there any other Resident Evil games we left out? It was Outbreak, Umbrella Chronicles.
Code Veronica.
Well, that's still the same, yeah. Well, this
pretty
story arc.
The knife.
The knife.
We'll
get to that. We'll get to that in part 2.
That's another thing, along with the president's daughter.
All right, so we're going to wrap this part up, and we're going to continue in part 2. But I'm going to be your host, T, and this is my new co-host, Kim.
Signing off.
Signing off. And you can join us in Let's Not Play Resident Evil Part 2.